Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Carrying on from the Taurus, we are looking at the Aldabra today. Because they, all these ships, the Eris, Taurus, Aldabra, they all fill similar roles of being frontline tanks and, to an extent, damage dealers, especially the Eris heavy cannon, the assault Taurus, and the normal A-type Taurus. And in the case of the Aldabra, nothing really changes here. It's got some decent DPM, it's got good armor, it's 30 armor base, which is better than pretty much everything except the assault Taurus and the defensive Taurus. And it's got an armored variant, which actually goes up to, I think it's like 45. And you can further increase that as well, bringing it up to, I think it's just under 60. Which again, really quite nice. But yeah, let's just jump into it. Front row ship again. So same as always, jumping into the armor system is going to help you out here. Picking up double HP. I wouldn't pick up the armor quite yet, although it is quite nice bringing it up to 38 earlier than usual. But I will pick it up after I do the main weapon system, usually if I ever do run this. I do tend to prefer running the Eris and the Taurus in my fleet than I do running the Aldabra in either of those two positions as the tank off tank role in a Frigg Destroyer fleet or a Frigg Destroyer frontline anyway, which is a little bit unfortunate because it doesn't mean that I don't really play with the baby Chimera much anymore, because it pretty much is just a baby Chimera. It's got good damage output, it's got good armor, good base HP, but I value the evasion on the Tauruses and the Erises more so than I value armor, which kind of puts me in that position. So yeah, after that armor system, moving into the Fortress battery system. Now, it's a bit weird that they've added things like anti-aircraft radar enhancement to this and the lock-on efficiency, and there's even a hit rate against the anti-aircraft radar enhancement. Because, okay, there are two weapon systems here that do target aircraft, but the two main systems are its big cannons to shoot other ships. But then there's also the near defense system. What I would like them to do if they ever, come back to play around with a ship is remove the two generic cannons from here and put them onto the anti-aircraft system. It'd make far more sense. But yeah, anyway. Upgrade-wise, cannons have a bit of a problem. Similar to railguns, they're slightly better than railguns. I think that's due to the fact that they normally have better fire rates in general than railguns do at just hitting targets in general at all. So my initial upgrades will always be hit rate against frigates, destroyers if it's early game, or if in mid game I'd take the other one, the just flat cannon hit rate. So you need to mix those up depending on when you're building it. If you are building it, early game, so it's going to be fighting Frigg Destroyer, pick up the Frigg Destroyer hit rate. It's a 3% bonus over a 2% bonus. If you think the enemy's got more cruisers out at the time, pick the base hit rate up before picking up the hit rate against frigates, destroyers. But even potentially ignoring it if it's late game and they don't run any Frigg Destroyer, but that's still unusual, so I still pick up both because you do normally see someone running Swarm as Frigg Destroyer. After that, going double cooldown here brings you up to 4, I believe, of 7 mods here, and then you've kind of got a little bit of a choice. Personally, for me, I like picking up triple damage. The triple damage mod's actually quite nice here. You get 350 damage per hit. So each one of those are going to give you 35 extra damage, bringing this up to, quite a nice. It's almost like 100 points worth of damage here. It's over 100 even points worth of damage. That's a quarter, 25% more damage in total. So it's just really, really good picking these up. So that's my personal opinion. However, I wouldn't completely rule out picking all ships focus fire on this. It sinks all weapons in the system to focus fire on one single target and reduces cooldown by 80% every 90 seconds for 10 seconds. Similar to the Chimera, I believe, has this issue as well. The cannons can sometimes split their fire, which is a little bit awkward when you want to target down and just kill off a single target. However, after a recent patch, I've noticed it doesn't seem to have that much of an issue with it anymore. And I haven't noticed a massive increase from last time I tested, like I did when I tested with all ships focus fire on and off. When I tested more recently, all ships focus fire didn't seem to matter all that much. So that being said, triple damage is probably best bet here. Completely flat out ignore anti-aircraft radar enhancement and the aircraft recognition system. It's not worth it to pick up for the two cannons here that will actually shoot at aircraft in any shape or form. This thing has no AA potential at all, even with its near defense system, which is a bit of a shame, really. After the fortress, like I mentioned earlier, I go into the armor system. This is where I will pick up physical resistance 2. This is just really nice to pick up on here because, again, you're going to bring it up to just shy of 40 armor at 38 armor, which is fantastic. Especially early game, there's a lot of weapon systems that are dealing around sort of 40, 50 damage, and you're just going to mitigate almost all of that quite often. After that, come into the near defense system and pick up anti-aircraft support, hit rate against fighters and corvettes. Lock-on efficiency here helps it quite a bit, and one of the cannon mods, or actually you can pick up both of the cannon mods if I remember rightly. It's 5 slots, right? 3, 4, 5, yeah. So yeah, you can go strategy, hit rate against fighters, corvettes. Ignore the frigates, destroyers. You're not going to do anything to them. Pretty much every frigate destroyer's base like armor is enough to completely mitigate 10 damage per hit, which is a bit unfortunate. And to be honest, at the same time, picking up 20% cannon damage isn't great either. It's going to give you 2 damage, which is kind of completely, it doesn't really matter. But you know, there it is. So yeah, strategy, hit rate against fighters, corvettes, lock on efficiency, double damage is what you want to probably go here. I generally just wouldn't know, probably pick up the damage. And the near defense system, it's never really done anything in the form of AA. Again, it's counter-attack, but you'd hope with anti-aircraft support, increasing the hit rate and everything, it would do okay. It doesn't. It just tickles aircraft at best. Finishing off with the propulsion system, for me, like always, is warp speed, cruising speed, but feel free to go double cruising speed if you feel you need the extra or reduced acceleration. It's not too bad. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, to be honest with you. So yeah. On to the armored version. It's like a flat out upgrade, in my opinion, this ship over the generic type. So they're both front row. You got an extra 3,000 damage and you get an extra 15 armor, and your damage output is negligibly damaged, if you know, barely anything at all. Okay, you lose its anti-aircraft system that just didn't do anything in the first place. Who cares? Again, like the Taurus Assault and the Taurus Defensive has a really bad like upgrades on its reinforced armor, which is a bit of a shame. But you know, you're just getting the reinforced armor is providing, you know, 15 armor and 3,700 HP, so it is just a better upgrade. I would trade that anti-aircraft system off this near defense system off the base for armor any day of the week and extra HP, even if it was like 10 HP. It's that bad. Anyway, same as before, front row ship, going into here, going double HP upgrade is what you want to do, and then picking up one of the physical resistances. I like picking up the resistance here early. It brings you to 53 armor, which is actually really, really quite nice. and it will mitigate quite a considerable amount of damage. Moving on over to the Fortress Battery system, you've got Focus Fire, you've got 7 slots to play with. Focus Fire, in my personal opinion, isn't a priority here. So I'd go hit against frigates, destroyers, and then the increased cannon hit rate by 2%, the generic hit rate upgrade for your first 2 upgrades. Double cooldown after that, double damage after that. You do lose 1 damage, so it doesn't deal quite as much damage as the A-type, but I personally believe the extra HP that it provides and armor is enough to warrant the slight damage loss of I think it's like 35 damage, or it's a bit more than 35 damage. So yeah, just don't worry too much about it. After that, you kind of get into a position where you just go, well, you got target selection time of the weapon system, lock-on efficiency, and sinks all weapons. If you actually look at the lock-on efficiency on here, it's awful. At 12-second lock-on time, it's really, really bad, which kind of forces you into a position that's like, absolutely take the target selection time of the weapon system by 6%. This is going to like help your damage output on this thing tremendously. Not quite so much as double cooldown. It's probably better to pick up before the damage, to be honest. You could probably go double hit rate, double cooldown, lock on efficiency, target selection, sorry, and then go into double damage after that for your 7 slots. Lock on efficiency doesn't really matter here. It's got the same useless cannons that the other one does that are in this system. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Reinforced, it's in the same position as before with the Assault Taurus and the Defensor Taurus. These don't really help all that much. Main system HP may help a little bit, but that's about it. And then after that, going into the propulsion system, picking up warp speed, cruise speed is my personal favorite, or double cruise speed, but that I will leave up to you. So the Aldabra it's actually a really good ship. I just don't use it because my fleet's full of Tauruses and Heiresses, and I just don't have the room for another 10 front row destroyers. If anything, I do use these occasionally in my 3rd or 4th fleets that are on sort of defending mining outposts and that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's really good for that position. And to be honest, I may try dropping the Tauruses again and run the armored again in its place just to see how they fare. But generally speaking, because of the Taurus is slightly better, but it's not even slightly better, it's a lot better damage output. Heavy Cannon Heiresses is a lot better damage output, and the Taurus's damage output is better, and mostly due to the fact that it's energy based. Where this is cannon, so it does get damage mitigated by armor quite easily. So yeah, in my opinion, it is still worse than the Taurus and the Heiress in that front row damage dealing off tank, but at the same time, it's just not a bad ship. There's not much I can say that's bad about it, bar on the generic type as an AA system that's completely and utterly pointless, that doesn't do anything. But yeah, the armored type is great. It's a great little destroyer. So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.